This is the EVP Podcast.
Alrighty then, welcome to another episode of the EVP Podcast. I am Beaker.
And I'm Ghosty.
And I'm Kaden.
They can see you. Well, those people can see
Filling
you.
in for DVO today. We got Kaden in the house.
Yeah, DVO, he's a bitch. So he left us to go to Disneyland.
What a bizzo.
So we brought someone better on the show.
That's right.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah. DVO.
So,
We have Kaden.
oh shit, I'm
Son.
dropping.
Drop it like it's hot.
Well, yeah, so we brought Kaden on today because he just came back from a vacation where he went to some spooky stuff. He went to Bobby Mackey's
Yes, I did.
And Waverly.
and Waverly.
So we'll talk about
Like-
those a little bit later. Just kidding.
First, we're going to talk trash.
First. Yeah.
But, yes, you just got back. When did you get back?
We've been back, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So,
was very-
it's still fresh. It's still
Oh,
fresh.
it's
Very
still-
end of July here is when they
Yes.
went.
We got back August 1st.
So, yeah, you're still fresh.
For
Still
those
fresh.
of you who somehow missed our last episode with Kaden when Ghosty was drunk off
I
his
missed
ass,
that last episode.
You missed it. Ghosty couldn't remember Kaden actually being here, so we brought Kaden back. That's the other reason why.
I didn't have
wanted-
time to get trashed before you got here, so
We wanted
Right.
Kaden.
so I'm getting trashed now.
Work on it.
We wanted to give Kaden a chance to actually talk
Yeah,
that-
that
and
was,
not get cut off randomly at the end of the episode, like in the middle of a sentence. Should we call it?
I was probably the alcohol was probably hitting
Probably.
real
Oh,
hard.
it was hitting hard.
We were like an hour. That episode was like close to an hour and a half too. But so Bobby Mackey's. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on Bobby Mackey's?
Well, hell, hold on. Before we talk about Bobby Mackey's,
He's running the show.
yeah. Before you talk about
I don't
Bobby
know what I'm
Mackey's,
doing.
because we've done an episode on Waverly Hills already.
Yes, we have.
So,
Yes.
but let's not go too much into that. But let's. I want to hear some of your experiences and kind of compare some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that where I was going with what I was saying. Caden's a medium. If you didn't listen to the last Kaden episode,
you should.
that's what I was getting at. Caden,
Go listen to that one
go
first.
listen to that one. He did some readings. Maybe we can have him talk to some spirits if there's any here at the end of this episode. But yeah, he's a medium. He's one of the people that we work with when we go do residentials and stuff like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I still have people telling me they want to know my body. Like, Kaden knows my body. Apparently that's one of your quotes that people still quote at me.
Oh, that was a good night. That was a
was-
good night.
That was fantastic.
I literally still have people say that to me. So that was fun.
All right. So when you
Anyway.
went to Waverly,
Yes.
when you would stare down the hallways, would you see a lot of cool shit?
Oh, dude, there was so much activity all the time. And seriously, like, you would go in some of the halls, they have the exit signs, and so they like illuminate
Just
a
that
good,
little glow.
Yeah, just like 100 feet. I mean, it's not really in the span of the whole building. It's not really a lot of space, and you would see just as many shadows and stuff move in those signs
Yeah.
as you would in the dark hallways.
It's creepy as shit.
It was. I wasn't really creeped out until we went to the body shoot.
Yep. So I mean, creepy in a sense where it didn't like scare me away from staring at it. It just
Right.
draws you in to keep watching more and more. But yeah, I want to
It
know
kind
what
of-
you
it-
saw in the body shoot.
So I told Megan, my wife Megan, that what she experienced at Waverly is really what I experience on a daily basis. Shadows coming in and out, all kinds of random images.
I thought you were going to say cat calling. All those spirits.
Just
Yoo-hoo.
hey.
I want to know your body.
But yeah, there was a couple of times, especially on the upper floors, like the third and fourth floor. We on both floors, I had an experience, and then she had an experience where we saw a full color face just appear in front of us.
It was a dude.
It was a lady both
It was
times.
a lady dude. I had no idea. I wasn't there.
But it was, yeah, that was, and it was, I mean, full color. Like, I could still tell you what she looks like now.
Wow.
Like a dude looked like a lady.
Dude looked like a lady.
Dude looked like a lady for sure. Fourth floor. So we had a lot of fun with the tour guides. We had one guy that pretty much stuck with us the whole time, and it was about an hour and a half in or 2 hours in that I made a comment about something I saw, and then a name that I heard, and she pulled me and Megan to the side and was like, "You're a medium, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yes, but I'm here to investigate, so I'm not doing medium things on purpose." And she was like, "Okay, well, can I give you some validation?" And I was like, "Please." She's like, "You nailed that name exactly on, and we know some of the history, so if you can get more out of him, let us know." And so that kind of sparked...
Well, who was it?
His name was Thomas.
Told you there was a dude.
It was on the first floor?
On the fourth floor.
Fourth floor?
So if you're at the far south end of the building on the fourth floor, there's
The
a
doctor's
shadow,
office?
kind of by the doctor's office, right in front of it.
Wasn't he a nurse or something?
He was a patient,
Oh.
but he
I don't
worked
know.
with a nurse, or he worked with a doctor.
Okay, against the wall,
Uh-huh.
and there's almost like an outline of a body.
Yes.
And
Yep.
he sits up against that.
Yep, and he just walks all night
So-
long, back and forth.
Son of a bitch was doing that.
Yep.
And I'm like, and I was like, holy shit, I could like see him clear as day.
Yeah.
And I'm walking closer, and this guy was with me. We were both seeing, we walked closer and closer, and like I could tell that his energy was there. But then when we get there, it's like an outline, like a dark outline of a body against the wall.
And he was like...
Not
he
like
was
somebody
tall.
outlined it, but it's like just darker.
Yeah.
And it's like a head and shoulders.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, that's weird, but I
So-
could definitely tell there was something here.
Yeah. So we backed up, and after I gave her that name and told her that's who I thought it was, we had another tour guide come up, and he was like, he had a group of probably 5 or 10, and he was explaining to them to watch for that particular shadow. And he goes, and we've gotten across the spirit box several times. His name is Thomas. And I was like, I just said that. So that was fun.
So what did you see in the shoot?
So the body shoot was
Bodies.
that was creepy. That was creepy. So it was just me and Megan in there. We had one group of people that we watched walk out past us. And so I was like, give them like 2 minutes and let it just settle down, and then we'll see what happens. And we walked about a third of the way, maybe halfway down the body chute, and stopped. And I turned the flashlight off, and we could hear somebody walking around. And it was raining that night, and we could hear somebody walking around in the water at the bottom. And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure we just watched everybody leave. So I turned the flashlight on, and there's nobody there. Nobody that she could see.
Yeah.
And so I went to bring the flashlight back to me and let the room dark up again. And as I was panning up, I was watching wet footprints come up the stairs. And I was like, no, that's not cool. So we backed up to the top, and I went to turn back around, and we heard running. We heard footsteps behind us. And both of us, like, not communicated at all, but both of us got the same feeling, like we needed to get the hell out of there. So we took off running. And we didn't stop running until we got all the way past the morgue. And the whole time we felt that whoever that presence was right behind us on our backs.
Interesting.
And I didn't think we had screamed that loud or said anything that loud, but we had one of the tour guides meet us at the stairs. And he was like, are you guys okay? Like, like, we heard you, so we just wanted to make sure you're good. And I was like, I don't know what that was, but that was not cool. And he was like, you are the second group in an hour that's had that happen, so we're gonna leave that alone for a little bit.
Interesting. That you were hearing the footsteps.
Yeah. And it
saw
it
it,
was
too.
just right there. Like, it was right on your back.
Because what I saw, it lunged towards me,
Yeah.
but it didn't come running. It almost just like, it lunged, and I was like, oh, fuck this. And I turned around. And nobody that was standing there with me saw that. Nobody else turned around or anything. And I was about to start running, and nobody else moved. So I was like, nobody else saw that. I'll just stand behind this group.
Right. You guys just take on that one. I'm good. No, that was probably the craziest paranormal experience I've had.
Yeah, that was something that stuck with me too. That in that body shoot,
Yeah.
having seen that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I want to go to there.
You need to.
You need to.
All right, so let's talk about Bobby Mackey's.
What?
So,
Let's.
you want to talk about Bobby Mackey's?
We can.
Okay, let's talk about Bobby Mackey's then.
Okay, real quick recap in case you've been living under a rock and don't know what Waverly Hills is. 1920s. It was a tuberculosis hospital. They claim
We got
upward
a
of
whole
like.
episode about it. They can listen to that.
So
Direct
Just
them,
a-
direct them to
Just
it.
really quick.
So
I'll punch you in the
there's actually a little bit more history than you guys covered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
See?
so Waverly,
Jackass.
Oh,
so Waverly Hills closed down in 1940s,
what didn't we cover?
and then Woodhaven.
Is that the
Did
old
you
folks
talk
home?
about Did you talk about Woodhaven?
Was that the old folks home?
It was the next hospital / old folks home.
I don't remember.
I
if
think we
did or
talked
not.
about the old folks home when it was like in the 80s. Or,
Yeah, it was open in the 80s, closed in the 90s,
Yeah, we talked about that part.
and
A lot of abuse, a lot of
a
neglect.
lot of abuse. Yeah,
I don't remember anything between the tuberculosis hospital and the.
there wasn't anything in between. No, so it sat vacant for about 10 years, and then Woodhaven bought it, and then they did third floor was the Forgottens, and they didn't use the 4th or 5th floor.
Was it?
What was
I don't know. It was tough. I've been hearing noises. I thought I heard a cat earlier, and he didn't have
That
a
was
cat.
from outside. The window's open.
Oh, windows.
Okay, I was like,
I'm
that
hearing cats. It sounds like someone's using a table saw across the hall here.
Probably is. These microphones are good, I guess.
yeah.
Picking
So,
up neighbors.
was that? Did you like get any audio evidence or anything? Were you recording?
Yes, and I didn't bring my laptop. I was gonna show you.
Is it? Oh,
So
You can provide it later.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to send you some because there's some good pieces.
yeah. Send it to us. We'll promise we'll put it on Instagram and Facebook, and then probably not
Probably.
do it because we say we'll get this on social media, and we never do.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
There's a couple that
I
there's a couple that I'm gonna upload that are very like audible, very loud EVPs.
Look for those on the Life of the Utah Medium
Yes.
Facebook page and Instagram.
and Instagram
Yeah,
and
and TikTok.
Facebook and TikTok
Yeah, all of it.
and YouTube.
Yeah, there too. Look for it.
Let's talk about actually.
Amazing.
Let's kind of go back a little bit. So, at the end of the night at Waverly Hills, we had about a half an hour where it was just us and the tour guide, and so we got to sit up on the 5th floor, room 502, and we had us and one other group of kids. So there was, I think, 5 of us total that were up there, and we did a spirit box session. And before we started, she was like, "Okay, Mr. Medium, I want to know what the name is of the nurse." She's like, "We've been trying to find records of it. We can't find records of it. We have talked to the person that found her hanging, and he won't tell us her name. He's too afraid of it." So,
I'm probably wrong. It starts with like Suzette or Susie.
yeah, Sarah Jane.
That's the S. That's
Sarah Jane.
Very
And
generic.
they had
Everyone
gotten-
starts with S. So I don't know.
Right?
I don't know shit.
But they were, so I said that name, and she intentionally waited. We did the spirit box session. We did get a Sarah on the spirit box. So that
Oh,
was
really?
really cool. And then afterwards, she said, "Okay, we've been given 3 names about this nurse. Nobody can get the whole story. Nobody knows. The only one that knows won't
Is this
tell
the
it."
one that was like killed because supposedly she got pregnant by a doctor?
Yeah. Yeah, so something...
Oh, do tell.
Something had happened along those lines, and they've gotten 2 kind of different stories out of the spirit box sessions. One is that she had an affair with the doctor, she got pregnant, doctor didn't want his wife to find out, and so he hung her. The other rumor is she got pregnant by one of the other doctors, and he was not interested in her, or there was some kind of fight, and so to show him, she hung herself on his floor.
So what did she tell you?
She didn't confirm either way. She said the doctor was involved and she was pregnant, but that's all that we got out of that.
I'm gonna go talk to her.
So we got so out of the 3 names that they had gotten, when I told them Sarah Jane, they had gotten Sarah, Jane, and Nancy. And I was like, well, yeah, Sarah Jane. Like,
What if her last name's Nance?
right? It could be.
Or she was gonna have a girl and she's gonna name it Nancy.
All things are possible.
I gotta go talk to her.
Yes.
Figure it out.
She'll tell me.
While we were talking with the tour guide, we decided that we were going to work on a project and we're going to release it on YouTube. Something that no paranormal teams right now do. And I mean, I've done some research.
No, we do it.
None of them do it.
Dumb. We do it. We just don't tell people.
We're going to do our investigation. And then when we get names, either it's the spirit box or you have a medium on the investigation, we're going to do the actual historical research. And we're going to do an episode on each person. If it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes, it doesn't matter. But we're going to do a history on each person affiliated with that location.
Nice.
We do that. Quit stealing our ideas.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool, actually.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So we've already started doing research, and we're finding doctors that are not talked about at Waverly Hills that had like massive impact on the hospital. And we know they're affiliated because their obituaries say that they're
There's gonna be a lot of episodes on just one location
So,
if you do that.
They said that they have been able to confirm 10,000. We've been able to identify at least 60 to 70,000. And they will never know because Woodhaven came in and burned most of the records.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I have a question for you. I have a medium question for you.
Okay.
I know, like, we talked about this on the last episode, and Brandy did give us her explanation, but I want to hear from you. So, I think I told you over the phone about the experience when I was showing Brandy the video of the Conjuring Treehouse, the live stream, right?
Yes.
And I saw in my mind's eye, like hands coming out of the phone trying to grab her.
Yep.
And I mentioned that she told me that the entity or the spirit or whatever put like a trap for mediums. And his question was, well, how would, the spirit know, like if a medium's watching it? And I know her response, and I can read it here in a minute if you want me to. But I want to know what you think or what your thought is on this, coming from another medium.
So I have had a spirit tell me before. I'm like, how is it that you identify a medium from, or anybody else? And he said, you have a light.
No,
but this is from a live stream.
No, this is a live stream.
The spirit can't see who's watching the live stream.
There's just a camera. That's it.
I don't know how that would work over the TV, but I know what I've heard from spirits is that we have a light, we have a beacon.
I've heard that before too. So this is what Brandy said about
live stream.
So yeah, through the live stream, like you can see what's going on there.
But the spirit
can't see you. They don't know if you're. They don't know that you're specifically watching. So this is what Brandy said, and she said Ghosty was pretty close on the whole astral projection thing.
Yeah.
So she said the spirit isn't singling out any one person. It's a non-human entity, so it knows that it's being filmed. Therefore, any sensitive can be drawn in.
Right.
So it's waiting to see if anybody is coming to look even further, trying to so it's putting that signal out there more or less, like trying to get you to astral project out there.
Right.
And then that's how it kind of gets you.
And that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, because when you do
because they know if you're there, they know if you're there in your astral form, your body's somewhere else not protected, most likely.
Most likely. Yeah, because like we talked about before that I do, readings over the phone and over Facebook and all that all the time. And we read pictures, we read videos. So we're not on a camera, they're not able to see us that way. So that would make sense.
So I just thought it was interesting.
That was cool.
That whole situation happened. I was just like, it just reminded me of all the times I've been on an investigation. I think you've seen this with Brandy.
Yep.
Where she just gets this weird, and she told me I could show you the videos. So I'll have to find the videos of her being, I'm not going to show it to everybody, but I do have videos of times spirits have jumped in and channeled through her.
Okay.
Yeah, those videos were wild.
So I can't put that out there for the general public to see, but I was given permission to show you and DVO. and he's already seen them. He's
Yeah.
experienced some of them.
Yeah.
Like the one
Like
at the family tree.
Family Tree restaurant.
I still like that voice and just the I do. I'm like, this is not happening.
Well, and I got to do something pretty cool the other night, where I had a YouTube paranormal TV show that reached out. They were going to Benson Gristmill, and they had heard.
What's that? I've never heard of it.
Well, apparently they had, and they also knew that I had a connection, and so they booked Benson Gristmill and asked me to come and be the guest medium for that episode.
That's cool. I saw something briefly on your live stream the other day.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta check that out and see what happened.
It was cool. Yeah, we were. I mean, and we were just. It was just me and the two guys, and walking around with their camera, and
That's how porn start.
it is.
Did someone order a pizza?
But we had like
For him, that would be like, did someone
Did
order
someone-
a medium?
A medium pizza.
God.
we were in the big mill, and he wanted just basically experiences that we had in the big mill. And I was like, we've been here more than a dozen times, so we've had some experiences in the big mill.
Funny that you mentioned that. I don't know if you're coming or not, but I'm going back next month.
I'm going back on Thursday.
Paranormal potluck coming up again on International Ghost Hunting Day.
Nice.
Yes, not on purpose. It just happened.
It just happened that way.
Benson Grist. So the big mill.
Yeah.
Did you? I mean, you and I have been in that big mill many
times.
I think you've been with me when I've like tried to go up the stairs and it felt like I was walking through freaking water and
being pushed
like something was
back
pushing
and-
me back.
Yep.
Ghostie's been in there when something was wanting to trip me going down the stairs.
So we were standing on the stairway going to the second floor, and the front door slammed shut.
Oh, it was just the wind.
It
Are
was
the windows still broken?
No,
Okay.
nope, all sealed up, no wind, and it slammed. Like it wasn't like the wind sucked it shut. It slammed shut.
Must have been Kyle.
That's what I'm like.
Kyle's the spirit that
Kyle or Jonathan?
I don't know Jonathan. I do know Kyle is the spirit that hates me because I told him to leave people alone. That's the one that wants to trip me, and he messes with me every time I go in that building.
So he asked our experiences on the basement, and I was like, so we have this friend that we call the paranormal bodyguard who was standing down here one night and almost got shoved in.
Yeah.
You remember that night?
Nope.
We were standing down there, and he was looking over, talking about how messed up it would be if you dropped your phone or something over the side trying to take a picture, because it's like a straight shot down into the water. You know? And then you move forward, and you're like, we're going back upstairs because I'm not going in there.
I don't remember this.
You don't remember that
No.
night? I was like, if you are getting pushed, we are in trouble. Let's go.
No, was that the same night that my bubble popped?
Yes.
Oh, I kind of don't remember it though.
Bubble pop.
Oh, have I talked about that on this show?
This is the first time I've heard about you
So,
losing your virginity.
yeah.
I've
You want to hear about it?
never, I guess.
So, I mean, you weren't there. Caden was there. Mark was there. No, it was. If I've told this story, I apologize. But I'm going to tell it again. So we were at the end of the night, at Benson Grist Mill. Mark was there. You were there. Your wife was there.
Yep.
And me. That's it. We were just in the
It was
parking
just
lot.
us.
We had closed everything up. We'd locked the gates and everything. We were just in the parking lot talking, and it was just the weirdest thing. Just how quickly everything just went down. Like we're just talking, and I hear this loud, like it, to me, it sounded like something like one of the Transformers, because there's a cell tower nearby.
Okay, yes.
And it
you
sounded
did
like a
tell me.
transformer like exploded.
Yeah.
And I jump, and next thing I know, Mark's like got his hand on my shoulder, and he's like yelling, "You need to leave him alone." And Caden's doing his like magic wizard shit, and I'm just like, "What the hell's going on?" And then I'm just like, "Okay, whatever." Like I'm just thinking something exploded. I like nothing exploded. And I just, with how quick they all reacted, I thought everyone had heard this like loud popping noise, right? I get home, and I'm just like, I need to text Caden. And I'm like, why do I get the feeling that no one else heard that loud popping noise? And Caden's like, because there wasn't a loud popping noise.
Popping noise.
I'm just like, okay then.
Yeah,
And
I remember the story.
when that happened, like whatever it was, whatever time it was that sound happened, like his face went instantly pale, which if Tim goes pale, there's a problem. And he went white, like super sheet white. And we were both like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't feel like anything was happening other than I just heard something and I thought like the transformer for the cell tower or something blew up. That's what I thought was going on. Next thing you know, they're doing their shit and I'm just like, what's going on, guys? It was trippy.
Well, you just lost
Mark
your
has
virginity.
Mark has your back more than I do, apparently, because he was right on it.
He was right there. Like, before I even jumped, his hand was like, he was already reaching for me. Because he said he felt a shift in the energy in the air.
Yeah.
And that's why he started reaching for me. Like, he didn't reach for you or your wife. It just, he knew it was me and just started reaching for me.
He wanted to touch you.
Crazy.
He did. Everybody does.
Anyway, now that we've sidetracked a little bit here.
All right. So are we going to Bobby Mackey's
go to
or
Bobby
where are we
Mackey's.
going next?
Now
Or
that-
is there anywhere else
Well,
we
We're
gotta
gonna
go?
go
We've
to
done
Asylum
Waverly.
49.
Do we need to go to Fear Factory
We've
again, or
done-
do we gotta go anywhere else?
Benson Grist Mill.
Yes, we need to go to Fear Factory.
So working
for
on
sure.
that, actually. I've already contacted the owner of Grim Ghost Tours. They are currently not doing investigations right now because they are getting ready for the haunted house season.
Yes.
So they won't be doing them until November. So if we want to pick a day, I don't know if we want to try to do it during the Christmas season, but if we want to pick a day, I can hit them up and be like, we want to go this day.
Perfect.
And then we can make it happen. Because I've only been there technically once. I've physically been there twice, but I've only investigated there once.
I have been there astrally, but I have not been there physically.
And we'll probably bring Lurch and Dave with us.
That'd be awesome.
Well, that was a joke talking about going to any other places today.
Asylum 49.
I was being sarcastic about talking about other places.
No, we're doing. I'm just stalling. Okay.
You saw for the half hour mark?
Yeah. We're almost there. We got 3 minutes.
All right. So let's talk about Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah.
Bob, what is Bobby Mackey's? I know, but people might not.
People might not. So Bobby Mackey's Music World is now a bar, and has been several times a bar in Wilder, Kentucky. Was owned and operated by the famous country star Bobby Mackey, and really he opened that bar up as his personal practice grounds.
And now it's the portal to hell.
And now it's
a portal to hell.
not. And so
I'm not. That's what they call it.
That's what's his name called.
Bobby
it.
Mackey,
It is-
probably Zach Bagans.
You're welcome. It is exactly what what's his name calls it, and from now on he will be referred to as such.
Voldemort?
He who shall not be named.
I didn't know the Dark Lord was there. He never told me he was coming
He
to the
didn't
U.S.
He's the Dark Lord of Vegas.
He can't. He died fighting a teenager, but hell,
Oh,
he's the
man.
darkest
He's the
wizard
darkest.
of all time. Wait, who are we talking about? Bobby Mackey.
Bobby Mackey's.
The portal to hell.
Yes.
According to one guy on
According
Wikipedia.
to- right. According to one guy's TV show.
Yeah.
But when we first walked in, that was a really fun investigation. We actually had the whole building to ourselves.
You almost didn't go.
We almost didn't. But right before we left, a couple of different times, I just had the weirdest feeling. Like, maybe that's not the greatest choice. And so I texted Tim, and I was like, "What do you think?"
Well, I was on the phone with you, and you're like, "You're not going," and so my response was, "Is your wife pregnant?" And we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm just like, okay, well, if you're getting that feeling, man, like if your guys are telling you don't do this, I'm like, listen to them.
Don't do it.
And then I argued with Ghosty a couple weeks ago. I'm like, no, he's not going. He said he's not going. And Ghosty's like, no, he's there. And I said, no, he's not. He said he's not going. And I like a tick.
But he's there.
But I'm there now.
Ghosty's like, no, he's there. And I'm like, no, he's not. And then I go home and I start watching TikTok.
Because
And
he's already broadcasted. Like, this was like
you've already
like an
seen
hour
the
ago.
video.
Yeah.
You've already seen the video. You've seen that he's physically there. And I'm like, no, he's
No,
not.
he's
I
not.
know better than
I
you.
was like, sure, bud. Yeah, go to bed.
I start watching TikTok and I
You're
see
a little-
that he's
you're a
there.
little too drunk here, Dusty.
Yeah, it happens.
It does.
Go back and watch episode.
We
I
have
don't know.
audio.
I wasn't there. I
Listen
don't
to
know.
episode.
I don't know
How
what you're talking
doing? It's called Kaden. Go listen to it.
But
yeah, I watch
yeah.
a TikTok and I see that you're there, and I'm like, I had to text Ghost, and I'm like, you're right. He's there.
He's there.
Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Yes. So
There's
Bobby
history
Mackey's has some dark history, but not demonic history.
I remember there being something about like it was They killed cattle. It was like a butcher shop.
So
What do you call it?
So there is no
Slaughterhouse.
So there's a whole lot of rumors that nobody can validate.
That's what I've heard.
So that place was never a slaughterhouse, and we did the city research just to find out, make sure that it was never a slaughterhouse.
Okay, so that was one of the things. Another thing I heard was like some girl ran and fell down a well, and then they built the building on top of the well.
Yeah. So the girl in question, the original building was built in 1920, and sometime around like 1909 or 1910, she fell into that well, and they originally had it covered up, and when they were doing the excavation, they didn't know that that well existed, and when they're doing the excavation for it, they stumble on the well, and so they gave then the owner at the time the option of, look, we can cover this completely up, or we can include it in the building. But either way, it's right smack in the middle of your building, so you got to make a decision. And he was just like, you know what? If it's a natural spring well, I mean, let's keep it.
So they still use it? Like, is it
So it's not usable. It is
too much blood from dead bodies?
too much blood.
Too much demon.
You know, that's
spawn.
Too much demon blood.
spawn inside of there.
So there really could be blood in there. After the building was built, it got taken over by the Cleveland Syndicate. And if you don't know what they are the mafia of Cleveland, Ohio, and Cincinnati, and even as far down as Louisville.
That sounds as threatening as like a mafia in Ogden, Utah. Like it happened. Like it happened. Ogden was like considered too rough for even Al Capone.
Yeah.
So when you say the Cleveland Mafia, I'm just like, okay.
So
Yay.
they ran.
Bunch of cross-eyed hillbillies chasing you with pitchforks. So
Yeah, there's a lot of history in that. I mean, they have people that are still missing that they have claimed, but they won't tell them what happened to the bodies. And we're like, well, I can tell you exactly what happened to the bodies.
in the turkey.
They went either into that well or they
Oh,
went.
I was gonna say the turkey. What's it called? The waste. They put their waste in the silo.
Yeah.
And then their waste. Turkey waste will eat bodies up.
Yep.
It's like acid almost.
There's a lot of turkeys there at Bobby Mackey's.
In that area, there's a lot of turkey
in
farms.
that area there is.
There's a whole lot of turkey farms.
Well, there you have it. Problem solved.
You'll never find the bodies.
Bodies were eaten by turkeys.
Never.
No. They're eaten by turkey shit. Turkey shit ate the bodies.
Oh, turkey shit.
Turkey shit eats bodies.
The
yes.
manure.
Yes.
Okay.
Silos
well,
of it. Remember I said silos of it. And then they put the
No.
bodies in the silos. And then the silos will just... The poop just eats up bodies.
It's
Oh, yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
insidious, and so yeah, it can eat just
more
about anything.
effective than acid in a bucket, like in Breaking Bad.
Yes.
You just need if you start a turkey farm, I'm not your friend.
You know what?
anymore.
Some turkey farmers are the ones that told me about it out in that same area.
Yeah.
I'm your best friend. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, so they
Squeal like a pig.
that building
Ginger squatch.
That you're just asking me. Impossible.
Yeah, so that building was it was used by the mafia, and they built
So
3 different bars and a hostel.
that's just a fancy word for hotel.
No, it means a hotel with no
It means
no walls.
It means a hooker's resort. That's what it
Brothel.
is. Brothel.
Brothel, not a
Brothel.
hostel.
Hostel's just a hotel.
Well,
Hostel's like a
they
hotel
treated
made
it
with bunk
as-
beds.
Literally, yeah. So brothel.
Brothel.
Okay.
Okay.
So just curious. The well. You saw the well. You went down there and
I
basement?
did see the well.
What was the energy like on that thing?
It
Just normal?
It was just a basement.
Well, that's anticlimactic. All
Right.
right. So let's talk about the brothel. Were there dead hookers there
I would imagine.
that you talked to?
We talked to quite a few. So we talked to. There was a couple of ladies that were on the main floor, like on the ballroom, and that were very quiet. They would, they'd kind of come by and then go to talk, and you could tell that they were watching something on the other side of the building. And if they started talking too much, the energy would shift and they would disappear.
So was it like their pimp, or was there like a
I-
negative, like
it-
inhuman
No, it was definitely a mob boss, and I can't for the life of me remember what his name was right now. But we did find him, and he was eventually charged with 30 counts of murder.
Oh, okay. He's still hanging out at Bobby Mackey's.
Still hanging out, playing poker, if you would believe that. 3 different times in the night, we were sitting there absolutely silent, and we'd hear poker chips shuffling.
So if I was playing poker with him, I'd just let him win because I don't want to die.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, did you know there was an exorcism that was done at Bobby Mackey's?
Did Zach do it?
Nope.
Did he recommend it?
Was it televised?
I can't remember if it was televised. I know it was in the newspaper. And the guy that...
Maybe I heard it being talked about in an episode or something.
Yeah, the guy that had the exorcism done eventually committed suicide.
Oh, the guy that lived there, the caretaker
Yeah.
guy. Yes.
So
Because
he-
they played audio from that.
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
So he was up. So when you're in the bar area, I'll have to show you pictures. But when you're in the bar area, there's a good wall divider, and then you can see about a foot or so of into the stage and all that. And you can look right in the middle of it. And the whole night, every time we walked over there, you could see somebody sitting in the middle of that. And I went up there for, I think, a total of 20 seconds. Long enough to put equipment down up there and then come back down and watch it.
Okay.
I could not stay. That was the one spot in the whole night that I could not stay. But as long as we were away from the wall, we were fine.
So let me get this straight. So the owner of the bar thought he had something going on with him, so he had someone come in and perform.
No,
an
he had a
exorcism?
caretaker who
The caretaker thought, yeah, the owner wasn't experiencing anything.
The owner
he didn't believe in it.
The owner didn't believe the caretaker, and he didn't believe his wife. His wife was shoved down the stairs in the back of the building, and
I think I vaguely remember this.
he was on. They went on like Jerry Springer,
Oh,
and
you know it's real then.
Jerry was like, "So you still don't believe your wife?" And he's like, "No, she's like crazy as hell." Like,
Was it Jerry Springer?
She wouldn't go back. Like until her death, she never set foot back on that property.
Huh. So when she died, she set foot back there.
Yes.
Okay. So
She's in the apartment.
Okay. So I know the reason why I asked if your wife was pregnant, I know she's not. But there is like rumors or stories that like pregnant women specifically get targeted, or like stuff usually happens to them at Bobby Mackey's.
Yes.
And I don't know why that is.
And I don't know why that is. That was one of the questions that we did ask and we never got an answer to.
But that seems to be like an ongoing thing. Like there's been several women, like I think they have signs up there.
They do have signs
that basically say if you're pregnant, like don't come in.
Don't come in here.
So I mean, it's serious business.
And I mean, it's alcohol.
And I mean, during concerts, during like general hours, they
even for like an investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they don't want pregnant
They
women
do
in the
not
building at all.
want because they really get attacked. The tour guide told us that they do have most of the time. If you're gonna get scratched, they do have occasions where somebody gets scratched, and it is down in the basement, but it's while they're away from the well, looking in that direction.
That's why when he said he had a bad feeling, I asked that. Oh, is she pregnant?
Is she pregnant?
Like
So
as a joke.
What's the floor plan like in there? So is it just a big open floor
It's
plan?
wide open. I mean, if you took your walls out right here and just opened them up, it's wide open.
Just wide open. Yeah.
The only thing that separates it is, like I said, there's in the bar area that's maybe 50 feet or so. There's like a little slot window, and then the wall in the middle, and then everything on either side is wide open.
And then there's just like an upstairs area for where the caretaker lived, or
That's on the back of the building. It's a separate.
okay.
That's a separate entrance.
For some reason I thought it was like above the building for some reason.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little bit higher than the roof, but yeah, it's on the back of the building.
Okay. And then there's just a basement, and that's it.
And then there's the basement underneath, and it's interesting because you cannot get into the basement from the main level. You have to go outside and around the building.
Okay, so it's like a cellar.
It's a separate, it's a
Okay.
separate entrance. But cool fact about that. So back in the Mafia days, they've now since covered it up, but they used to get raided all the time because they knew what was going on in that bar. And so they had an escape door in the men's bathroom. And so they would hear the cops
Call those
show
glory
up.
holes.
Right.
To the glory hole.
But that's also how they conducted business. They knew that if they went through that door and downstairs,
They knew through that door was business.
They
back
knew it
door.
was the business.
It was the back door.
They knew they weren't coming back though. If they saw somebody go down with the mafia boss through that exit, they knew they weren't coming back up.
Yeah, because
So-
they're escaping.
No, they're going to the turkey shitter.
They were escaping, they were escaping life.
They were escaping
Yep.
life permanently.
Yeah. I was like, I need to escape. And they're like, we'll help you.
Yeah.
Have you seen our turkeys?
But it was so funny, like they would not, the whole time we were there, we would be on one side of the building and then leave our equipment somewhere else, and they would interact with it as long as we weren't in the same room. Like if we got in the same room, they wouldn't respond to it. We had my spirit box going for a minute, and we got a voice that said she has to leave. And I was like, no, she doesn't. I'm like, she is here in the investigation. She's going to stay the night. So if you don't want to interact with her, that's fine. But you will respect her. And never had another problem after that.
So what all did you experience there that night at Bobby Mackey's?
So we had shadows, which, for Bobby Mackey's, the tour guide will tell you they have shadows every single time they go. That's nothing, really special for Bobby Mackey's. We did have like I said, the poker chips a few different times. We heard what we thought was like a band or something playing on the stage while we were kind of in the back of the room. And so we walked around to go see what it was, and there was obviously nobody there. And
How many people were investigating this with you guys?
it was just us.
Just the two of them.
Just me and Megan for 4 hours.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So I was nervous about that because I was like, hopefully they bring it. They know it's only going to be the two of us, so hopefully they bring somebody else with us. And the tour guide was like, I don't like investigating here. She's like, I've had too many bad experiences, so I'm gonna lock you guys in, and it's
You
yours.
guys have it?
Peace out.
And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
Not the first time you've been locked in a building
No, it's not.
by yourself. Well, actually, it was 4 of us total, but still.
But I mean, on the one floor though, it was just by myself, and that was fun. That was really cool.
So, what was the craziest thing you experienced at Bobby Mackey's? Just
The poker chips.
the poker chips.
So it wasn't very active.
So,
It was like
so this insane portal to hell where demon spawns live in the well. Poker chips.
poker chips.
That was it.
That was it. We did have one shadow that we all saw when she was giving us the tour, and we heard like a footstep behind where that shadow was. But then as soon as we gave it any attention, it disappeared. And so I don't know who it was. I don't know what it was. But we all saw it while we were in the basement. And they have a picture that she showed us where they actually caught an apparition on a picture
Well, that's cool.
in that same spot. So that was pretty cool. But we didn't experience anything like that.
But with you being a medium, you can see there's a lot of spirits
There's
there.
a ton of spirits there.
32.
100.
But they're just not very
But they're
active.
they're not.
Well, this is out in the middle of nowhere too, isn't it? Or is
It's
it?
kind of. I mean, it's on a back road, and it's in a town of 1,000 people.
That's how a whole area, a whole section of the country's like that.
Yeah, there's not really a lot around it. I mean, it's on a main highway, so you do hear traffic go through there all night. But for all the hype and for all of the dark energy and stuff that's been put around it, we didn't experience anything like that.
So, did you go back and ask your guides why you were getting that bad feeling?
I went back and asked, and I didn't get any answer. I was just like,
Maybe it's just nerves. It's like,
It was-
Zach said it was evil.
Zach said
Right.
so.
Zach said it was bad, so I shouldn't go. So I won't go. And then you're like, I will go.
yeah, I've heard it. I mean, I have heard an interview with Bishop James Long, where he's like, I hate that building.
Who's that?
He's the guy that
He's done the exorcism.
yeah, he's like a demonologist.
I don't know him.
From the
He's not
church.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So he's like Ed Warren, but actually like
He
certified.
is
He's a
Ed Warren's
priest.
priest.
Okay, I think I've heard the name before.
Yeah. So he's like
What?
What is that thumping? There's all the sorts of stuff going on around. Neighbors.
music.
It's music. It's someone's bass out there. I'm
Just don't worry about it.
I won't.
Stop
anymore.
worrying about it. Nobody else can hear that but you.
I know.
So when people are listening to the show, they're like, "What is he talking
Yeah.
about?"
Probably.
Probably.
Like, this guy again.
Stop
Why do they
about-
keep letting him
he
back
keeps
on the
hearing
show?
shit in his head.
They're like, why do they keep letting this bigger guy on the show? I'll tell you why. I bought the equipment, bitches. So it's been a long day. Sorry.
I can tell.
So like it was just mild. So
but
like,
it was like-
compared to like places we've talked about here, like so let's say Family Tree really dark, right?
Right.
Fort Douglas not so much.
Not so
Like,
much.
So where would you put it on a scale of like, 1 to 10? Like where would you say this is at on the actually like scary haunted scale? Because obviously
I
it's
was
very
like,
haunted.
it's very
haunted.
active.
So it's like 112 on the scale of 1 to 10 on how haunted it is. But like negative energy scale of 1 to 10.
Like a 2.
Okay, so we can skip this one.
Well, I have a feeling just like that caretaker, because he spent like every night there.
He's
I'm just saying he'd probably experience things because he spent every single night there, and
Well,
with
like
there
the tour
being a lot of
guides and stuff like
spirits
that.
there,
Yeah.
they probably
Like the
he
tour
would
guides
probably-
have had experiences, but they're like nothing like what nothing
Well,
like
yeah,
what Zach
but I
hyped
was
up.
saying,
Nothing
like
what
he's
that
probably
guy
experienced
said.
like a little
Right.
thing here and then a little thing there,
Right.
and then over the course of like 5 years, he has like a handful of stories to tell.
And all of a sudden
You
it's
know,
the portal to
Not
hell.
like every
was-
single night is just like balls of the wall spirits just
Pictures
sucking
flying
business,
off the
sucking me
wall.
off, and all this,
Is that a fantasy of yours?
No, and the caretaker actually was really well known for telling tall tales. So they don't know how much of his experiences were real and how much were made up.
This place sounds like bullshit.
It is.
We should go there.
I mean, I would go back. I had a lot of fun in there. It was not nearly what it was hyped up to be, but we had a ton of fun.
So in that whole area, like I've been through some towns like that through Ohio and everything.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of old abandoned houses that just you can tell there's some bad
There's
shit in
some
there.
shit in there.
And I would rather do that than go to like Bobby Mackey's or someplace that just gets frequented.
Because it's free.
Well, that and it's just probably not frequented by people trying to investigate. So there's probably just a lot of untapped
Yeah.
communications
Well,
and just
most investigators aren't going to be like, hey, we should go check that out. Where Caden's like, I can see that shit. I know that's haunted.
I know it is.
Let's go.
No, I actually, I like both sides of it. I like going places where nobody's been, or very few people have been. But I also like going to the more famous locations like that
I mean, I would like to go to famous places, of course,
and
but
debunk. I like to go debunk the stories.
you have to pay a high price for that because it's a famous place.
Bobby Mackey's, you don't. I was really, really surprised.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like
It
$100.
was like $100 for the 4 hours.
I don't know.
It
It's
really,
way
no, it
out
really
there.
was.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people frequent it as often,
Probably
just
not.
because it's way out there.
Yeah, they go a lot. I mean, they're booked up, but it's because of Zach and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
didn't you have to book this like 6 months in advance or something?
Waverly we did, but Bobby Mackey's I could have literally booked like a week before
okay.
and would have had openings.
So we should go there.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down. But I would like to stop at a lot of weird places on the way.
I am going back to Waverly in May.
You know what I want to do? This is totally off topic. I've taken Brandy there. But there's a little spot up Emigration Canyon that is supposedly the remains of Ted Bundy's house.
BS.
Yes, that's what I thought. But the energy there is just like weird. Like, have you been there? Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
haven't been there.
I'm gonna
but
take you.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. The energy's weird. There is like
Right now?
No, probably, probably not. Because like I know there's some of the ghost stores that actually go and stop there and take people in. So, yeah, the energy's just super weird there. Like there's still foundation and like stairs to a basement and everything. There's still remains of a house, but the claim was, and I've seen so many claims lately, but like at some house he had down in like Provo area.
That one was true.
That one was
true.
Like a
and
Provo Canyon or something like that.
Yeah, and he would. There's a couple of confirmed cases at U of U and a couple big parties that he had at BYU.
I know he like kidnapped people out of the
dorms. Yeah.
But that's a different story for a different day. But so, yeah, that I mean, it just sounds to me. It was almost like uneventful, other than just like
Bobby Mackey's was, yeah.
But Waverly, not
Waverly,
so much.
on the other hand, dude, from the minute we walked in the door,
Murderous wet footsteps.
We gotta try some new places though, like Penhurst or. There's all these other cool asylums and old prisons we need to check out.
I want to go up to...
There's that prison in Montana.
Yeah.
That's not that far away.
We're going to go... I want to book Rollins, too.
I've been there.
So there's some stories out of Rollins that we talked to one of the tour guides.
I was there.
I went to Rollins.
I've been there. The state penitentiary?
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
We had one of the ladies that worked there. She was like... She didn't believe in spirits. Like non-believer, skeptic, right? And then the Brandies started crossing over spirits and wanted to be crossed over, and this girl like legit full on started crying. They're crossing over my spirits, and I'm just like, why do you care? You don't believe in them,
right?
But that place was that place is dark.
That place is super cool.
There's a lot of nasty spirits there.
In Rollins?
Yeah, Rollins Frontier Prison.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going back.
The story is that there was an inmate that, you know, they all at the time had a prison mom, I guess, that lived just up the street, and once a week she'd bring them over like baked goods. And this guy got out of prison on work release, went and found her because she was the only person that he knew in the area, stayed with her for about 3 days, and then killed her.
Oh, damn.
And then he turned himself in because he felt guilty about what he had done. And the warden, when they brought him back in, like put him in super isolated, like lockdown security, because he knew what was going to happen if the other inmates found out.
That was our pastry
that
plug.
Was our hookup, man. And
I'd kill someone for donuts.
And they did. They found out what he had done, and he got out. They paid off one of the guards, and the guard got him out, and they took him up to the 3rd floor and hung him.
Oh shit!
As they should have. You killed the pastry lady.
Yeah. So they hung him, and then the warden went in to interrogate, and nobody would claim who it was that pushed him over, that actually threw him over.
That's suicide.
So they did lunch next to his hanging body for an hour, and nobody confessed to it. And after lunch, the warden was like, "You know what? I'm really not that sad that he's gone either. Sorry." So they just took care of it and didn't do any paperwork on it.
The warden wasn't getting his food either.
That's right.
This fat guy, I know these things. You kill the guy that messes with your food.
That's right.
If you're in prison, don't do it out in the real world. Don't do it to go to prison either. Don't go to prison.
Don't go to prison. Prison is a bad place.
Unless you're ghost hunting.
In Rollins, that's in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And so that prison probably held a lot of the people building the railroads coming from the East Coast and.
This is like northern Wyoming.
Yeah, it's Rollins, so I mean it's right on I-80.
Sorry. Yeah.
But that prison was.
So it's not nowhere near the railroad then?
It was. The railroad came supposedly just through town, but then they changed it. So.
We went to another prison right before they tore it down.
Oh yeah.
You were there.
We went to Price
Prison. It was the Price City County building or whatever. They're tearing it down because they built a new one. I remember someone got an EVP in the actual jail cells of like, I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you, yeah.
The one thing I remember the most from that night is the end of the night, trying to find your bag.
Dude, that was the weirdest thing too, because I had put it on the table in like the main meeting hall. And then we went to leave and I was like, where's all my shit?
That stuff was just gone. So, and this building was not a small building. So we literally had like 20 people going around searching this building for his stuff, and no one could
Some
find it.
asshole spirit just took your
Dude,
shit.
they took it, and not only did they take it, they took it to the lowest and furthest place in the building they could have possibly taken
That's
it.
where it ended up?
We were there at the beginning of the night and never went back down.
And that's where it ended up.
And that's where it was.
That's crazy.
I was like...
It was just like candy and
And
stuff.
I remember looking at Brandy and Tim being like, "That's a funny joke, guys." And they're like, "No, but for real, we didn't touch it."
Yeah, I had no idea he brought stuff with him. I think it was just like a bag of candy or food or something.
Yeah, it was like I had my K2 and my voice recorder, and then like a bag of snacks.
Yeah, like none of us knew it was even there. Like no one saw him bringing it in. But we found it. They found it. I don't even know who found it or how they found it.
I think Deanne found it.
It was like a half hour we were searching for this stuff.
Damn.
And she was like, "Did you go downstairs?" I'm like, "Like 4 hours ago." But I had it with me in the main hall when we all got back in here.
Well, I think someone even went in the basement and looked, and it wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
I think we looked in that spot like 2 or 3 times before we found it.
actually found it.
I'm gonna have you slide over so you're more on camera. No, it is like a jerk face.
I just
But
saw
yeah.
something where somebody told a story about that, where they dropped their glasses or something,
Yeah.
and then they couldn't find it, and it was like way ahead of them in an area they hadn't even walked into yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How the hell my glass? They just came off me, and how the hell they're gonna be somewhere I haven't even been yet?"
Crazy experiences.
Oh, that's pretty nuts.
So
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
So all in all, Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's was
So it almost sounds like Bobby Mackey's for him was like Merker was for us, where it's just like, hey, this is cool.
Hey, I've been there.
People, yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
That's
It's just
really
like,
kind of. I mean,
I crossed it off my list.
I do want to go back because of the seriously, the poker chips experience was the craziest thing. Like,
Did you happen to get it on audio?
we did
Nice.
every time.
Life at Utah Medium.
Yeah,
watch-
so
watch
I
for
will
this
upload
evidence.
it. That was wild, and I will.
I'm gonna put this all on him so I don't feel bad. If you want to hear this stuff, Life
If
at
you want to
Utah
hear it,
Medium.
yeah, and yeah, if you are looking for readings too, that's the place to go.
He does that.
I do
He does readings now. You can
And
get a half hour,
half hour for $33,
full hour,
for
$77.
$77.
And my smart ass, when I saw this, I'm like, yo, can I book 2 half-hour sessions and only pay you 66 instead of 77?
And I said yes, but they will be 2 separate sessions.
Just in case there's other smart asses out there.
Now listen, I had thought about that. Okay, these are numbers that I didn't come up with. I went to my guys and I said, look, y'all are pushing me back into readings. You're pushing me back into investigations. You come up with the prices and tell me what they are. And then I had one of my guides be like 77 and 33, and I was like, why? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But there is a reason behind it. So each one of those is a spirit number, and they mean very specific things.
So my follow-up question to that was when you told me that, I just glossed over that and I said, so when are you coming back on the show?
Yeah.
And here you are.
And here we go.
So now that Ghosty is not drunk,
Right.
and he might actually let you talk. Okay. We'll see.
We'll see. Hold on. Just
Okay,
kidding.
because last time your neighbor was here, and you told us all about her while Kaden was trying to give him a reading about her.
Yes.
So
I was reading it first.
you were doing a very good job of telling us what you knew about your neighbor.
You were very accurate in your
Yeah.
information.
All the stuff that you already knew.
I know.
So I'm going to
good
ask.
at it. I'm good.
I'm going to ask: is there? So in this room right now, it doesn't have to be in this
Okay.
room. In this house, is there a spirit here that wasn't here last time? Is there someone new here, like standing in that corner over there? Or maybe that was here last time but didn't get to talk to somebody.
There's a few, but I want to say
Like that guy in the corner over there.
I think he was here last time, but I don't remember him.
So we talked to the neighbor lady that
Yeah, we
passed
talked
away.
to her.
And then we did talk to like a dude that was something to do with ancestors. I
Yes.
don't remember.
Yes.
But this guy, I don't feel like we talked to this guy. You can ask him. Did we talk to you? This guy over here? What's he saying?
I don't want to talk.
Okay, don't talk then.
Very observative. Okay. All right, cool.
Oh, is this the dude that just likes
That's
it because of the
just-
energy?
Yeah, he's just here.
He talked last time. We talked to you.
Yeah, he's just here.
Okay.
Just watching.
Yep, that's what it was. The exact same guy from last time. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. So people. So let me read.
Mary.
Mary. Are you gonna get married?
No.
Third time.
No rings. No rings. No, Mary. Does that name ring a bell for you? Is there a Mary for you?
Nope.
I don't know who Mary is.
I don't know. She's here though.
Old and white, super curly white hair.
What was your neighbor's name?
Wasn't Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's here. So if you're listening to the show and that's for you, contact me.
Yeah, and how would they do that?
You can go to either Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube and find The Life of a Utah Medium.
Hey, there you go. That easy.
Mary. I feel like I know that one, but I'm not putting two and two together.
What does Mary? Does Mary have anything
Okay,
she wants
never
to say?
mind. Never mind. I know who that one is. We'll have that conversation later.
Okay. So people can kind of get and you can't always do this like on demand. For us, anyways, just because
Right.
you know us that well.
Right.
For someone that you've never spoken to, it's a little easier for you to get a reading from.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It's not always like you're not always guaranteed to like.
So
connect to a
as
family
far as
member,
like
right?
connecting with a family member,
Because like that's
you
what
know,
most people are gonna want. Like, hey,
Yeah.
my grandma died. Can I talk? to her?
Depends if they cross
So-
over also.
You'll
Or
yes
see.
and no.
Can you
You'll
communicate
see-
if they're
So,
earthbound?
so I had a spirit that I didn't know had passed. I did a reading the other night for a guy. And by the way, if you're a complete skeptic, please contact me because
Okay.
that was the coolest reading I have
I'll
ever
call
done.
you after the show. I don't believe in this stuff.
That was really, really cool. But I had contacted a spirit for him that was his friend that had passed away 2.5 days before we talked. And he has not crossed yet. His funeral was today. So, new development, I don't know. But
So from my own
Yeah.
personal experience, I know you can talk to crossover spirits. I've seen it.
for sure, crossed over, yes. And apparently developing and talking to non-crossed spirits, too.
That's okay. It happens.
I'll take it.
So to kind of give someone maybe a little bit of a taste of what you do, I'm going to ask you, if it's okay with you,
Yeah.
just do like a mini reading for me. And I know it's kind of hard, just like, I know people, this might not convince people just because we've known each other for like 8 years.
Yeah. But in 8 years, there are things that I still don't know.
This is true.
Explore his body some more.
Get to know my body
All day.
a lot more
All
intimately.
over again.
Yeah.
No, so there are... Okay, so there are 2 for you and 2 for Dale.
Okay. Ghosty. Got it.
So
That's Ghosty. I know what Dale is. That's a Buko boy. Dale's a Buko boy. Ghosty is a EV peer. He's
Fair
a
enough.
Peer.
he's a peer.
Okay. So who?
So-
wait. So who do they want to talk to first?
You.
Okay. Haha.
You're closer.
I can fix that. Okay. Let's go.
Let's talk about... Okay, 2 things. So you're on your father's side. His dad.
My grandpa.
So your grandpa.
Okay. You have I've never told you his name. Well, does he have a name? Does he want to tell you his name?
Who's the C?
Who's the C? I don't know.
Who's the C name? That's the only name I'm hearing is a C, like a that or a K, but that definitely that.
I mean, my little sister's name starts with the C,
Okay,
but she's alive.
she's alive. That's not. Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
Okay.
He's not wanting to, not giving it up.
Oh, let me ask
Dwayne.
you.
Dwayne?
I don't know.
Who's a Dwayne?
I don't know. The Rock Johnson?
Dwayne. Yeah. No, Dwayne.
Is he missing a limb?
Okay, well, you can't tell me yes, I am, and then not show me. No, you can't. I mean, apparently you can because you're doing it now. Right arm.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Who's the right arm?
I have no idea. My grandpa was missing his
He's
legs.
like deformed.
Wait, hold on. How old is this person?
Not very old.
Is that Devin?
Does he have like tan hair? Like
I don't know. I had a cousin that was younger than me he had a deformed arm.
So we're getting two at the same.
His right arm was like a little
shorter
hook.
arm.
It was like a hook and it only had like 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my cousins.
Yes.
But as far as I knew, he was still alive. So it's news to me.
So is he with him? Is he with him? Is there something?
That's different sides of the family.
So there could be.
That was my mom's sister's son.
So there could be a warning or some connection.
I'd have to look. I'll have to, because as far as I knew, he was still alive.
Check into that.
Okay.
Check
into that. As far as I
that.
knew, he was still alive. So
Definitely check into that one.
What else do we got?
What else do we got?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay. You need to follow advice.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You need to follow advice.
You know, I've heard that one before.
Uh-huh.
I think I have it written
And
down on
you're-
a piece of paper in my car that you gave me when you were looking in the scrying plate.
Yes.
And started automatic writing.
If you don't like what is your current situation, following advice will change that.
Okay. I can say I'll do it.
Okay. Who is the heart? I don't know if it's a heart attack or if it was a heart failure, heart cancer.
For me?
For either one of you, I'm not sure which one this one connects with. I know it's hard. I'm getting all of my heart symptoms. And I personally don't have heart symptoms, just to clarify
I can't
that.
think of anyone on my side, or I can't think of anyone that had a heart something.
I don't know. I know.
This could be a living issue.
No clue.
Not that I can think of.
No, I know what. Okay, I know what that is, and we're gonna listen. We said no.
Is that the person you said
That
you'll
would
talk
be
to
the-
later?
Huh?
Is that the person you said
Yeah.
you'll talk to later?
Yeah, that's this guy.
Okay.
And his name is Dwayne.
Dwayne. Okay.
Okay. All right, Ghosty. Do you have either a great aunt or an aunt on your mother's side that would be passed in with you? Somebody that you definitely knew.
My mom? There'd be my mom's aunt or my aunt?
Would be either your aunt or your mom's aunt. Either one.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be.
She was a little older. Like late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah. Little older, but same.
But looks younger, even though she was
Hard to tell in that kind of age
a
range.
little older. Okay, with her, Okay. Okay, so she would have been married in. So she was explaining that she doesn't have her maiden name is not the Venaten name. Her maiden name is different. She was married into the family.
Well, yeah. I mean, because you're talking about my mom's side.
Right. So, but not your mom, but this aunt.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be. Oh no. Okay, I understand. With her, I feel really weak, and like more than normal. Like, did she have some kind of stomach nasty? Not quite cancer, but almost.
Yep.
Okay.
Found out after she passed.
It was in the autopsy. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not anything that, like, doctors didn't know that she had that disorder.
Right.
For being older, she was actually, as far as appearance, I mean, she was relatively healthy. Relatively.
Kinda, yeah.
Relatively. Obviously there were some signs looking back, but none that really would have screamed disorder.
Yeah.
Did she own a shop?
No.
What is she talking about? She's talking about the shop. What does that mean?
A shop? I don't know.
I don't know either. Just talking about the shop. Just talk about the. Okay, but it wasn't yours. Oh, okay. Well, she'd been like a receptionist or like a front desk clerk or anything. Do you know?
I didn't know what position she worked at. No.
I'm like, I just see her at a desk, like at an office desk.
I know it wasn't at a desk. Oh, I don't know if she sat at a desk, but
she wouldn't have been in the front.
Because she worked at a hospital before.
Okay. So that's okay. So it wouldn't have been in the front. That makes sense. But she was like, she was up there. Like, she was administration or supervisor or something.
I actually don't even know. I couldn't even tell.
Like, find out, because that's important for her.
Okay.
She worked hard for that. She feels like one of the forgotten ones.
Forgotten how?
Like, she's like, you talk to like ghosts and you talk about family and stuff all the time, and she's like, I don't come up. Remember me.
Okay.
That was all right. She just wants to be remembered. That's extremely important.
Okay.
All right, and the neighbor says hello.
She's still hanging out, huh?
She's still hanging out. She comes in to hang out with you and enjoy.
Nice. Well, should we call that an episode?
I mean, we can. Are you done?
Are you sleeping over there?
He's
Wake up.
giving you a reading, man.
We're good.
Well, should we wrap that one up? You good?
Sure.
All right.
I was just making sure he was giving you a reading and making sure he's finished, because last time he was like, hey, we're done.
Yeah.
So-
No, we're good.
So we're good.
Yeah.
No more.
I mean, there's more, but we're we can save that for another time.
Okay, we'll save it for another time after we turn off the recorder.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening and watching. Go see, don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.
Have a good one.
This is the EVP Podcast.